do you fit in being a steward of the earth if you do all these strange things like fly on an airplane and use an SUV and eat meat? Well, this is the kind of stuff that I have always found so very interesting, because for me personally, I never felt like I fit into any group. I wasn't the great vegetarian. Well, I was for 20 years, but then I didn't do this, or I wasn't a vegan, or people felt like they needed to tell me why they were eating meat. And all of these things, what if they were just a choice that you make for a lifestyle that actually works for you? But also, does it work for the earth? And a lot of times we really fail to ask the question, and we come to conclusion about what the earth requires to be quote unquote saved. Because are we actually saving the earth if we're taking shorter showers? Are we saving the earth if we're sitting on our bicycle rather than using the bus? The founder of Access Consciousness, Gary Douglas, always says that the biggest change that we can contribute to the earth is laughing. How often do you actually laugh in life? Or do you avoid that like the plague? Because life is serious. And if you're taking living on this planet serious and taking it serious to save the earth, then there is certainly no laughter. You shouldn't have any fun when you're doing that. But what if that actually is really the thing that needs to happen for us to have a different relationship with this planet? What is the planet asking of you? Why don't you actually take a moment and just right now pull energy from the earth? How do you do that? It's not a how, just do it. Just ask to pull energy from the earth. You can imagine it coming from the center of the earth through your feet, through your body, and out the top of your head. And pull more. And more. And even more. And now ask the earth, so what can I do or be right now to be a steward? And you may not get a clear answer or words or sentence or pictures, but you might just perceive an energy. Become aware of that energy. And remember that energy. So now when you're choosing something, like compare and see, okay, is me throwing this piece of glass in the recycling bin that energy? Is me getting on my bike to go to work that energy? Is me hopping on an airplane to go on a vacation that energy? And what if you no longer had judgments about what these different activities were, but you really looked at, is that a contribution to my life and also the earth? You are not separate from this planet. That is what a lot of times we live by, that we're separate, that we are greater than nature, that all of these things, which all creates more judgment. And the tools of Access Consciousness invite you to get out of judgment. So some of the things that I offer are programs where I give you the possibility to really be invited to different tools of Access Consciousness, which can change your life dramatically. Coming out of judgment is our greatest asset. Living a life where we no longer are judging ourselves is our greatest asset, because that is the contribution to the earth. And it's not about doing a fake laugh, like sitting here and going, ha ha ha, because now laughter contributes, is not going to create. What creates, though, is your sense of joy and laughter. If you have that in your body as a way of being, that contributes to the earth. And it can be even more so than any of these other choices if you are doing them from resistance, if you're doing them from, I have to. in order to fit into this group, I now have to. What if that wasn't true? What if you could really truly choose something different? So I don't really desire to preach here. This is not about preaching. It's really more about an awareness that you can have. So let's actually do something here. So the clearings of access consciousness are here to really assist you to create greater and have more ease and get some of those barriers out of the way. So let me just ask you a question. What are you defending by saving the earth? And everything that is, times a gazillion, will you now please destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. And this is the clearing statement of access consciousness. And if you want to know more about how this works, please go to theclearingstatement.com. Now, it's really, really easy to just acknowledge that what this is, it's asking the energy to go back to wherever the limitation was created and undo it there. That's really all. But if you want to know more, go to theclearingstatement.com. Okay. What are you avoiding by being the steward of the earth? And everything that is times a gazillion, will you please destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. What are you defending by saving the earth? Everything that is times a gazillion, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. What are you avoiding by saving the earth? And everything that is times a gazillion, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. And you don't have to get words. A lot of times this is just an energy, and this energy is not allowing you to choose and to see what is real and true. And this is not about defending driving an SUV. This is not about defending eating meat either. This is about having a choice. And not really from like, oh, I'm going to justify this choice. I'm going to justify why I like to eat meat, or I'm going to justify why I drive a big car. What if you did it from awareness? Is your choice driving an SUV destroying the planet? And please be true with yourself. Because for some of you, if you have a lot of judgments about that, that could actually contribute to the destruction of this planet. But it also means if you have no judgment, that it doesn't. It is really something where you have to stay in the question. What works? So, and that cannot really be used across the planes either. You cannot say, well, because I saw for myself that eating meat was a contribution to the planet, for example, does mean that everyone should eat meat because that's a contribution. No, this might really just be true for you. And what if you could choose in every single solitary moment what is true and works for you? And not about what is everyone else choosing or which group should I belong into in order to make this work. So all of these groups that you belong to, that are judging you for one thing or another, where you're not being perfect, will you now please destroy and uncreate all that? Times a gazillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. But also everywhere you're judging others for not doing the right thing, will you destroy and uncreate all that, please? Times a gazillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. And what if you stop judging you for not doing the right thing? Everything that is times a gazillion, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. So what is it being the steward of the earth? What is that for you? And everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. So please have a look at this, and please be brutally honest with you. And just see what actually works for you. Do you enjoy being on this planet? For me, being here is really special. the amazing nature we have on this planet is very unique and very, well, just incredible. So to me, having this planet as a home is something I cherish, and I'd like to keep it that way. I would like to see this planet thrive. So for me, a lot of my choices include all of that. So, what if you could do that too? So thank you so much, and I hope to see you somewhere soon. Bye bye.